Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you all had a good weekend. And welcome. This is Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel, live and direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. I'm Rick Arsenal. You know the drill by now. If you haven't done so yet, get down there in that corner and you smash that like and subscribe button. And you tell your friends the next subscriber to my podcast will be the winner. Okay? I appreciate your watching and listening and your patronage more than you'll ever know. Thank you so much. Quickly, we've got so much to get to and so little time to do it. I don't have any notes, didn't have any time to prepare a script or anything else. So this will all come from in here. Baseball first. Game 3 of the World Series tonight at 8 o'clock from Dodger Stadium in L.A. Dodgers and Blue Jays all tied at a game apiece. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Blue Jays tonight, former Tiger. A little bit after 8 o'clock on Fox. Numbers show the numbers show that in the World Series, normally the team that wins Game 3, is greater percentage of the time ends up winning the series. And that's a fact. So obviously this is a very relevant game tonight. Basketball. Pistons in action tonight. Looking for their third win in a row against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're 2-1. Lost the opener against the Bulls. Came back to beat the Rockets. And a good win yesterday over the Boston Celtics. So they're 2-1 going into tonight. Think about the Pistons. Watching the highlights of that game yesterday. Of course, Kate Cunningham, I think we can say, is a bona fide star now for them. Is Azar Thompson the second best player on the team now? He had an awfully good game yesterday. He just looks like he's getting better and better with each game. I think he's might be the best athlete on the team. This kid is good. Jalen Duren. And again, it'll be another 3 or 4 weeks before they get Jaden Ivey back. But as I said last week, I think I got him winning 51 games and getting to the Eastern Finals. We'll see. It's a long, long season. And, of course, we got the trade deadline, I think, a little after Valentine's Day. So there's a lot can happen between now and then. But so far, so good for the Pistons. Red Wings. Lost their first game, won the next 5. Had a road trip to Buffalo and the Islanders. That didn't go too well last week. They lost them both, came back. And in one of the more bizarre games I've ever seen, Saturday night, quickly got behind 4-0 and against the St. Louis Blues, and came back to score the next 6 goals and win the game 6-4. All in all, there were 10 goals scored in this game. The first 4 by St. Louis, the next 4 by the Red Wings. If I said the Pistons, I'm sorry. I don't know what to make of the Red Wings so far. Apparently, after they got behind yesterday, they got a pretty good tongue lashing from their coach, Todd McClellan. Probably well deserved Saturday. Anyway, it worked. And the Blues are a good team. Blues are a good team. So the second of a back-to-back series with St. Louis is tomorrow night there. Wings right now are 6-3. In second place in their conference. They are 2 points behind Montreal. You look at that. Look at that conference. As I look at it, even now, the Canadians and Red Wings are the only 2 teams in that conference with winning records right now. Everybody's gotten off to a slow start so far, but it's early. A lot can happen. It's very early, and I don't know I'm not ready to pass judgment on the Red Wings right now. And what to tell you, it's a Jekyll and Hyde team. And again, it's a long season. They've got some good young players now. Still, I think the goaltending is inconsistent. Defensively, maybe a little inconsistent too. I mean, that game Saturday night, they got behind quickly 4-0. Obviously, you're thinking it's over then. I got off of that and was watching the Michigan State game. I wasn't too thrilled with that either. But no, so anyhow, Michigan and Michigan State. I've got some things to say about that, but let's get their commercial obligations out of the way first. I am so happy and proud to welcome the Finish Line Family Restaurant to our family sponsors here on my podcast. For more than 40 years, a local landmark, the Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road, directly across from Aeroswift Printing, in between the railroad tracks. Everybody knows where the Finish Line is because that's where everybody goes. I don't know what we do without the Finish Line. New hours, expanded hours, Monday, Thursday, and Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Award-winning breakfast you can get all day. Great service, fast, friendly service. Great family atmosphere. It's just the place to go here in Hillsdale. I can't think of any other place to have a meal right now, or dinner, or lunch, or breakfast, anything else, in the Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. The place to go for breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything in between. Don't forget those expanded hours again, Monday, Thursday, and Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. We're also brought to you in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. And the days in October are running out very quickly. October 31st will be here Friday. You have that long to take advantage of Truck Month at Frank Beck Chevrolet. You won't find a better deal on a truck than you will this month at Frank Beck Chevrolet on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. Get in there, one of those great salesmen. You will find a better deal anywhere else on a truck. I can promise you that. Whether it be a Silverado or anything else, nobody makes a better truck than Chevrolet. And now's the time to get in there and get the best deal you will ever get on a truck. But days are running short. You got until Friday to get in there and do this. So anyway, 517-849-2886. Again, on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville, Frank Beck Chevrolet. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Chevy Drive, Southern Michigan. And Frank Beck Chevrolet is the number one selling Chevrolet dealer in our immediate tri-state area. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance on M99 and US 12 in downtown Jonesville. That's BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. 517-849-1000. On the corner, as I said, of M99 and US 12 in downtown Jonesville. 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. That's Barrett Insurance. That's BarrettINS.com. The Michigan State game Saturday night. You were watching that. Michigan won 31-20. It was 31-13 with about 7 seconds left, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the quarterback's name. Threw a touchdown pass. It was tight end with 7 seconds left. All that did was allow Michigan State to cover the spread. I think Michigan was like a 14.5 point. That's why you don't bet on these games. If you took Michigan and you laid those 14.5 points, For the first 53 minutes of the game, you were a winner. And I can't fathom sitting there and watching this if you have money on this game. 7 seconds left watching this transpire. That's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah, you have to wonder sometimes, don't you? I mean, you just, it looks awfully suspicious. I know. But anyway, the point I was going to get to here was the fact that a lot of Spartan fans were hoping that their team would lose and actually get downright embarrassed, which would induce the administration or the athletic director to immediately fire Jonathan Smith. Well, that didn't happen. And you had a lot of irate callers this morning to the 97-1 The Ticket in Detroit, as well as the on-air personalities voicing their frustration with the fact that this morning Jonathan Smith was still the head coach. I think a lot of this had to do with the fact that Saturday night after the LSU game, the athletic director, Tigers, they lost. They were expected to be very competitive this year. They have not been. And so the AD went to Brian Kelly after the game on Saturday and insisted that he fire his offensive coordinator. Kelly said no. So the AD said, that's it, fine, then you're both gone. That's how that thing went. And again, his ego and he may have taken a hit or a blow, but not his pocketbook. Brian Kelly, $50 or $60 million. This is getting ridiculous. And just like, even what good would it do for the Michigan State to fire their coach now? Really, as opposed to waiting till the end of the year. You're going to owe him $35 or $40 million. Why don't you take that money and spend it on some players? Michigan State has plenty of money. They're free to do what everybody, like it's so different in coaching a college team now, whether it be in basketball or football. It used to be when a new coach would come in, he would be given some leeway of 2, 3, maybe 4 years to recruit his own players and develop them, bring them along. A lot of recruiting involved. It used to be anyway. It's not that way anymore. You do what Signetti did at IU. When you immediately come in, you spend money like a drunken sailor, get the best players you can get. And lo and behold, look where they are now. Indiana, who would have ever thought this about Indiana? Besides that, if you were to fire Jonathan Smith now, one of his assistants would be appointed the interim coach. Who are you going to get? Pat Caputo on 97-1 The Ticket is suggesting that the 49ers defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh, would be a good fit. Why, Pat? Because he's from this area? Saleh doesn't want to come to East Lansing and coach college football. He's looking to get a job in the pros again. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'll never sit here and campaign openly for somebody to lose their job. That's not me. I don't do that. That's cruel. It's unusual. It's inhumane, and I don't do it. And not only that, too. It's one thing maybe if the guy's in over his head or you don't like the way he's coaching, but to blatantly question the content of a man's character? What about his wife and kids? What do they think when they hear this? It's shameful. Jim Costa on 97-1 The Ticket. What if I called Odyssey your boss and demanded that you be fired? This is, I feel so sorry for Jonathan Smith. What he's going to have to endure now for the rest of the season. It's wrong. It's everything that's wrong about sports. Everything. I'll never do that. I'll never sit here and campaign for somebody to lose their job. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's proper. And I'll certainly never question the content of anyone's character, especially not a head coach. Sure, Jonathan Smith is a great human being, good husband, good father, and he doesn't deserve this right now. To me, it's totally disgusting. Totally. Have I said everything I want to say about that? Yeah, I guess so. By the way, Michigan, they haven't had a passing game for 2 years now. Okay? They got plenty of money too. Why don't you go out and buy a couple of high profile wide receivers for Underwood to throw to? Because they don't have a passing game right now. Okay, let's look at the rest of their schedule. They're going to beat Purdue on Saturday. They're heavily favored, and then they're going to beat Northwestern at Wrigley Field. And I don't know why they're playing at Wrigley Field, but they are. And they're probably going to be favored to go on the road and beat Maryland. So that leaves the last game. Look, I know they were heavy underdogs last year, and they went down to Columbus, and somehow, because the Buckeye kicker missed a couple of field goals, they won the game. They're not going to beat Ohio State this year. They're just not. In the rankings, they did go up 4 spots from 25 to 21. Michigan is ranked 21 right now in the latest AP poll rankings for college football. But it's just frustrating because Michigan doesn't have a passing game right now. They just don't. And I don't get it. I don't understand. They haven't had a passing game since J.J. McCarthy was there. And I guess that kind of segues into the Lions here. I'll do this. We'll talk about the Lions and wrap this up. As you know, I wouldn't be doing this without the help and patience and the great knowledge of Tim Lilly and his staff at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, 37 Waldron Street. Anything at all, technical assistance, this is the only place to go in our area. 37 Waldron Street, downtown Hillsdale, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive. 517-610-5372, the only place to go for tech service in our area. Now, you won't find any better tech service anywhere. We are so fortunate to have that here. Anything at all, computers new or used, flat screen TV, mounting, programming setup. Perhaps you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Get in there and see them. You won't. I can't stress how good these guys are. Tim Lilly and his staff are certainly more than capable of resolving any technical issues you may have. And once you get in there, you'll see why we're so lucky and fortunate to have them among us. 517-610-5372, or better yet, like I said, get in there to 37 Waldron Street and see them and tell them Miggy and I said hi and we sent you. Will you please? Thank you very much. Quickly, Dan Campbell spoke at 3 o'clock today. I was running around so much. Significance of what he said today was Malcolm Rodriguez is back. His 21-day window is now open. He's practicing. Expect to see him back maybe, oh boy, let's see, maybe in about 3 weeks for the game in Philadelphia, I think. Yeah. So, other than that, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch will be practicing back at practice this week. So the week off did the Lions a lot of good health-wise. They go into the game. Last night, the line on this game was the Lions minus 8.5. It's up to 9.5 now. I fully expect by the time the game starts on Sunday at 1 o'clock at Ford Field, Lions will probably be 2 touchdown favorites. J.J. McCarthy will be at quarterback for the Vikings, but as one Viking observer pointed out, J.J. wasn't playing all that well when he got hurt anyway. I think people may have forgotten about that. And as I told one of my colleagues, if I'm Dan Campbell and Kelvin Shepard, I tell Terry Arnold, you take a couple more weeks off yet. I want to make sure you're 100%. I want to see more of Nick Whiteside, the pride of Grand Valley State, and see what he does against Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. We all know how well Amik Robertson covered Justin Jefferson in the final game of the year last year. But this line, it could be at least 2 touchdowns by the time we get to Sunday. So, some of the games yesterday, the Bears lost rather decidedly to the Ravens, who had Huntley back at quarterback. I think this is his 3rd stint with the Ravens now. You can look for him. Look, Lamar Jackson will be back Thursday night, okay? I still think the Ravens are going to win that division. Certainly the Bengals aren't very good. Steelers aren't good. Browns are the Browns. So I think the Ravens are still the best team in that division right now. As I said, they'll have Lamar Jackson back for Thursday night football. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams threw another bad interception yesterday at the most inopportune time, deep in his own end of the field. The Bears lost. Pittsburgh Steelers these are not your father's Steelers. Green Bay scored every time they had the ball last night in the second half. Steelers just they don't get it. They're just not very good. And if the Cincinnati Bengals, by the way, congratulations to Aaron Glenn. You won your first game yesterday, 39-38. If the Bengals can't beat the Jets at home, they can't beat anybody. I haven't seen the line on the game yet. They're hosting the Packers this Sunday, and that won't be pretty either. The Bengals, Steelers, Browns, Ravens are still the best team in that division. I don't think it's even close, hands down. So, anyway, that's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you all again on Wednesday. Don't forget, every Saturday morning here locally from 9 to 10 on WCSR 92.1 FM. Time on with Andy and Jed and all of his guests. So until Wednesday, then I will. We'll talk a little bit more about Wednesday about what the Tigers might be doing this offseason. Okay, we really didn't have time to get into that tonight. I'll give you my feelings, how I feel, what they should or shouldn't do. So anyway, until Wednesday, thank you so much for watching, listening. Remember, the next subscriber will be the winner. Please treat each other with respect. So until Wednesday, I'll say so long, adios, arrivederci, whatever. Have a good rest of your evening. So long. Bye-bye, everybody. See ya.